This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
There's a lot of aspiring athletes, mini versions of you out there right now, okay? And they have left home, they are trying to find their feet. What kind of advice would you give them?
If I may interrupt this question, I just want to add to the part in England that shaped my cricket, because England is where the game started, right? So they have an amazing system, a structure where young kids or older players, they learn. The system supports you. You put in the hard work and the system takes you forward, and the whole system is just so old. It's over 100 years old. So you get to learn. You learn to be part of history. Every club, the last club that I played for, and I cherish them very closely to my heart, and I want to shout out to them, is Gravesend in Kent. The club's 150-year-old.
Wow.
The exciting thing for me was, I'm being part of this history. I want to perform here. I want to learn. I want to be remembered in those another 100 years. And that really, was the drive. That was the motivation for me. And the system and the people and the coaches and the players, they really, really supported me in learning the game.
Yeah. That's interesting. I think that when you travel abroad and when you start to find your feet, because there's no blueprint to what's right and what's wrong, I think the mistakes shape your journey. And I think those that are listening to you now, be it in cricket or a different sport, that are outside of their comfort zone, what do they have to look forward to? You know how some people normally regret things. What do those people have to look forward to in their journey?
See, one thing I learned is you have to focus on your circle of influence, not on your circle of concern. And I mean by that is, there are things that you control.
Yeah.
And as an athlete, you need to know the important things. Your fitness is super important. You have to be fit. You are not like a normal car going on a long distance. You are like a Ferrari. You take them out for a spin, a fast spin on the weekend, and you park it up. You cannot keep on going on a long distance. You're not a marathon runner. When you play explosive sports, you have to take care, and you need to train accordingly. If you're not fit, your mind's playing. Yes, your mind's saying, I'm going to deliver this, but your body's not going to support it. And in the competitive system, there's going to be another guy who is more fit. Look, on that day, performance is, sometimes you say it's luck. Maybe you don't get to perform, or you get to perform. You try your best still. But one thing that you can be sure of, and I'd like to, shout out to Waleed for this, our boxing coach. He said, regardless of skill level, I want you guys to be fitter than anybody else. So fitness is in your control. If you're fit, you can perform, you can deliver, your body's gonna respond. So athletes, yes, everybody has to focus on skill level, but you have to have the fitness to perform.
And there you have it. That's the physical part of that. But coming up next, we're talking about the mental part and how the challenges that he has faced has shaped him up to who he has to be and how to cope with that and block out the noise. Don't go anywhere, folks. Stay tuned for more on the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Adori. I'm your host, cover everything sport, international and local. Shout out to Riverbird, Terry, Sati, and everyone else who is locked in, and my beautiful mother as well, Fatima, who is always tuned into the Halftime Show, man. I love when I get back and she gives me comments on the show. It's great. On the show today, we have the talented Abdullah Ghazi, who's on the show today, a cricket player who is making big moves in the cricket world, and you might know him domestically, but watch out his space on the global scale. I'm telling you now, you heard it here first, the first cricket player to be on the Halftime Show, and he is here today. Abdullah, how you feeling?
I'm feeling very good.
It's good.
Yeah.
You seem quite relaxed now.
Yeah, I
chilled.
Yeah.
Are you like that as an athlete as well?
Generally, I am.
Yeah.
I'm on the chill side, and I'm not too scared of public speaking, to be honest. Like, I've learned that. I work in sales.
Yeah.
So I've learned that, with so many presentations and giving it to the top management, you get over the fear after some time. Right.
That's awesome. Now, you've experienced challenges in your career as a professional cricket player and as a person as well. How have you managed to cope with them, and what's helped you get through it?
You know, the biggest challenge that I faced in 2019, early 2000, first quarter, I had a back injury. So before that, I had never been really injured. It were minor little injuries, but which would like take maybe 3 days, 4 days, and just automatically get healed. And this was while during, a game. And I had played 3 games back to back. I was working as well. I didn't sleep enough, so my body didn't get enough rest. And a part of it is, I have to blame myself as well, because when you're young and you're fit and you're playing and you're performing, you feel invincible. You're like, I'm literally Superman.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Superman. You wear that Superman top as well.
I like Superman. So I pushed my limits, and I had a deep tissue muscle rupture in my lower back.
Serious.
I didn't realize. So first couple of weeks, I just did normal physio, this and that, and I thought, I'm gonna be okay. Just a little sprain. And it just didn't. I couldn't move my hands or do the bowling action that I usually do. And I was like, okay, this is a little serious. I went to, in the process, I went to at least 4 doctors. They did my MRIs, did my X-rays. My X-ray was clear. There was no disc problem. There was no stress fracture. And then there was this. I did this physio. I thought, okay, the pain's gone. I can play again. The very first instance, or literally the first minute, it was just unbearable pain where I couldn't breathe. It was that much. And I was like, okay, it doesn't make sense. I like to know what's wrong myself as well. Yeah. But nobody's telling me that. They're just like, okay, it's okay. So the doctor's like, you know what? Quit playing. I said, no, I can't quit. This is not a solution. He's like, well, we can't do any surgery. Nothing. It's a muscle. It has to take its own time. So I'm like, so you're telling me I can't play again? He's like, yeah, big deal. Yeah, this was his response. Big deal. It's okay. It's better than, not being able to walk, or God forbid, a serious injury. I said, okay, and I left. But inside I was like, no way. I've been doing this since I was a little kid. You can't tell me to just stop.
Yeah.
I want to at least play in the park, right?
Yeah.
You're telling me I can't play again. My mind's not processing that. So, I got to then, I will always be thankful to Mr. Asif Ijaz. He was the UAE national team physio at that time. And he's at the FIFA Medical Center now. I got through to him through my friend Ramiz. He was playing for the UAE national side. He said, I'll take you, why don't you get yourself checked by the proper sports physio? I said, okay. So he, straight away, within 5 minutes, he figured what the problem was. He's like, look, first of all, you have to stop. Okay?
Yeah.
And then we start the process of rehabilitation and everything. It had been a year.
Wow.
And still nothing happened. And I was still in pain. And he's like, look, this is serious. You might have to change your action as well, because your action, which is your biomechanics, are where the problem is. So when you're performing, nobody tells you that, you have a biomechanical problem. I didn't know what a biomechanical problem was. And then there was this coach, Mohsin Arif. He's in the UK now. He pointed it out. He's like, you have, a problem. You might break down. And I said, no, I'm fit. I'm not going to break down. I'm fit. I've never broken down. He said, yeah, but you're getting older, so it might affect you. I eventually broke down. So I went into a very, very, dark place. Very, because the teams I was playing for, the people I was playing with for so many years, I wasn't of use to them. So nothing against them, but they were like, sorry, we can't play you. And nobody wants to play me, and I can't play. So you feel like nobody wants you anymore, and you're off complete
limits.
Yeah.
How do you cope with things like that when there's no one there to kind of actually help you and reach out to you and lend a hand? How do you cope with that?
So one thing that really and it changed me as a person as well. This injury changed me. I learned to have acceptance. God plans and you plan, but what happens is what God plans for you.
Yeah.
Okay. And I broke down, and it was out of my control, and I couldn't do it. So I thought to myself, the only being that can help me now is God, is Allah. I have to, get closer to Him. I have to ask for forgiveness, for for a rehabilitation process, for his help. That please, I want to be able to play again at least. And I just got closer, and I did, I started to be much more practicing at that point.
Did that help you like block out the noise and distractions that
100%.
normally athletes face?
Because I felt that, when you ask God, save me, and then you've done your prayer and your dua, you feel this sense of security that I've asked him now.
Yeah.
He's gonna take care.
Yeah.
I'm safe. And that's like, okay, I have trust, and your faith leads you to that. So it really like made me feel secure that I'm asking him, he's gonna help me. I'm a good person. I'm trying my best, I'm really putting in the effort. He's not gonna neglect that.
Yeah.
It might take some time, but this is all I could do at this point. Nothing else is working out. And secondly, with the mental part, again, Asif Ijaz, okay, he really helped me, because I would ask him, Asif bhai, will I be able to play again?
Yeah.
And he would always say, yes, you will, don't worry, you will. Even if he was just saying it to calm me down, that made me believe that I will. The effort had to be put in by myself anyway. It took me 18 months to recover. I literally joined, people would make fun of me because I joined 2 gyms. I already had the boxing gym, which I don't want to leave. I love that sport as well. I enjoy that. But for heavy equipment, I joined another gym as well, because I needed to train my legs and my back, make them stronger so I can make a recovery.
Yeah.
And I did that. I did that for 18 months. And, the whole process of just accepting, things that you don't want to accept makes you much more calm. You become less impulsive. You don't retaliate. You're like, okay, let me assess this. Let me figure out a solution instead of just reacting straight away to any situation.
And tell me, like, how did it feel? Now, obviously, there's been a lot of coverage. You've been back playing cricket. How does it feel once you step back on the scene? You're being watched, obviously, by multiple scouts, multiple people, and you're getting the recognition finally that you deserve, that maybe for 18 months you probably thought it wouldn't be happening. How does it feel to step back on the field?
It feels like a miracle, to be honest. From the time where I was injured, it really feels like a miracle, because there'd be time I'd just be walking around and then just randomly have tears in my eyes that I just want to play, please. Like, I'm not asking for a lot. I just want to be able to have that physical movement again. So then to be able to playing on the competitive circuit, it feels unreal. I am thankful for every single game that I'm able to play. But now I'm smarter. I don't push. I know the limits. Okay, and
you know your body better now.
And the coaches as well, Mohsin Arif, the physio, they have taught me in the process as well that look, you can't keep pressing the gas pedal all the time. You need to rest. You need to give your body enough rest to be able to perform again. Okay, because this is how injuries happen to everybody. We keep pushing, we keep pushing, we keep pushing until we break down. So now you plan better. You push when it needs to be, not 24/7.
Absolutely. Sati here is saying, believing and having faith helps mentally in a lot of situations. Great to hear you got out of your dark place.
Thank you.
Fantastic. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. So if you have any questions for Abdullah, please do send them through and we'll ask them on the final segment on the only place to be at 3, the halftime show on Pulse 95.
This is the halftime show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
Sure is that time, and it's almost full time on the halftime show. Shout out to everyone who's tuned in, and thank you so much for spending the hour with us today on the halftime show in the heart of Sharjah on Pulse 95 Radio. It's been a good show. I've really enjoyed it, actually. I've enjoyed speaking to this fine gentleman and athlete who I have had the privilege of meeting at RBO, and there's some questions coming in here, so I'm gonna skip right through and ask them. Terry here is asking, what's the toughest team you have faced? That's a good question.
In the domestic circuit, there are a couple of really good teams. I would say IGM, Interglobe Marine.
Okay.
They're very, very strong. They're currently winning a lot of tournaments domestically. They're a very solid side. There are a couple of other ones as well. There's the Bukhatir's team, Bukhatir 11. There's MGM. These are solid teams. But you really enjoy playing against them because when you're playing against such good players, you feel alive.
Yeah, you raise your game.
You raise your game. You have to perform, otherwise they're very good, so they would, they just run over you.
Yeah.
So you have to step up. So that's where you learn.
Right. I like that. How do you block out the noise and distractions?
Look, I think everybody needs to have some sort of activity that helps them disconnect. We're living in a very, very fast-paced environment. There's a lot of pressures from work, from social media, from friends, from whatever. So everybody, and it's you don't have to be in sports generally. And I personally believe, this is like my advice, that it would help you feel happier. Either join an activity, could be a book club, could be gym. I come to RBO, okay, I disconnect. You have to have an activity. And in the recent past, I'd give a big shout out to my PRG riders group. This is my bikers group.
Okay.
We're
Nice.
We're super bikers, and some of them, Sami, Hadi, Suleiman, Zubair, Ubaid. These guys, they've given me a really nice disconnect.
Okay, nice.
So when you're on a ride, you can't think of anything. You can't use your phone. You have to be super focused. And that little break could be 20 minutes, could be an hour, could be 10 minutes, just to have a little tea.
Nice little reset.
That is it, because you're only in that moment.
Question in here as well coming in for you. Greatest cricketer of all time in your opinion?
Imran Khan.
Easy. So he didn't even hesitate.
Yes, that's like the ideal. He should be the ideal for every youngster. He's extremely educated. Okay, he's got a master's from Oxford. That's the ideal. He won the World Cup for his country, and he is now the Prime Minister of his country.
That's crazy, huh?
That is a successful man.
And
that is a lot of hard work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How has your experience been on the halftime show?
Very good. Very good. I really enjoyed it, to be honest.
I'm really glad. I'm really glad. I know we spoke very, very briefly before. But I think you're destined for great things, and I'm really looking forward to hearing more.
I really appreciate, Umar, the support and encouragement you've given. It's nice to hear from.
It's my pleasure. I've watched it from a distance. I've seen it obviously up close, and now obviously having you on the show, everything that you have earned has purely come through your hard work and your dedication, and I'm very happy that it's happened to a good person as well. It's Mustafa saying, welcome the Hall of Fame of Halftime Show.
Hey, why not?
Which is fantastic, and we do use this platform to be able to highlight obviously talent like yourself, and I hope it continues, and I hope you'll come back in the near future and tell us more about your success as well on the Halftime Show.
Thank you. I'd love to.
Where can we follow you, by the way?
You could follow me. I'm more active on Instagram.
Tell me, what's your Instagram handle?
It's AGHAZI89.
Fantastic. And are you playing anytime soon? Have you got anything coming up?
Probably in Ramadan. So Ramadan is a very busy cricket season, and it's very good cricket that happens. So hopefully, I'm looking forward. My team has still not confirmed the schedule. So when it's out, people can actually have a look on Instagram.
Can we give a shout out to your team?
There are two teams I'm playing currently from. One is Splash, the brand Splash Cricket Club. Big shout out to all the boys in Splash. And Arkham Cricket Club. So both these teams and the people in these teams are very close to my heart. They're
fantastic.
Good friends.
Fantastic. Well, listen, it's been a pleasure interviewing you on the Halftime Show. Thank you for taking the time to come and grace us on the show.
Thank you so much. The pleasure has been all mine, Umar.
And remember, you catch it every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, 3 to 4 UAE time. And if you do miss the show, head over to the podcast, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud. You can find all of our shows on there. Or if you prefer a visual, head over to the YouTube channel, Pulse 95 Radio, and you can catch all of our episodes on there. Thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in and sent your messages and your comments and your questions. It's been fantastic. Myself and Abdullah have absolutely enjoyed hosting you today on the show. Abdullah, you're pretty good at this radio thing, man. I'm worried now.
No. I'd rather have if there was an opportunity, I'd want you to be there.
Fantastic.
Because I'm vibing off your vibe.
What a guy. What a guy. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much, people. Have a fantastic day. We're coming up to the Asr prayer, but we send you love and blessings on this fine Saturday afternoon. Take care, guys.
If you liked this episode of The Halftime Show, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.